If you're a guy, you've ever thought about getting a car, like a nice, fast car, do it. Do it if you can afford it. And I'm going to tell you exactly why in this video, why you need to be buying a nice car. You know, I was one of those people that always was like, I don't need a nice car. For years, I drove my '08 Acura just around. And my Acura is not a bad car, okay? Don't hate on my Acura. But at the same time, I could afford a lot more. And I still drive my Acura around. But the thing I want you to understand is there is a power in driving a nice car, especially if you're a man. Especially if you're a man. Girls, you can get a nice car, get your dream car. But guys, I'm telling you, there is a power behind this, and I'm going to explain it in this video. First and foremost, right? I'm going to talk about the social perception of driving a nice car. This is the most important part of it, okay? When you pull up to a business meeting, when you pull up to anything, people are going to judge you by the way that you present yourself. You never have a second chance to make a first impression. And so you are instantly valuable if you pull up in a brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan. You are instantly valuable if you pull up in a drop-top Ferrari Spider. You are instantly valuable. Cars signal wealth. People subscribe to people that have money because money is a great indicator of power in today's capitalistic society. Money does not mean that you're powerful. Money does not mean that you're smart, but it's a very, very good indicator that you may have these qualities about yourself, because getting a $500,000 car is not simple. It is not easy. It is not something that a regular person can do. Most people cannot afford the payment on some of these cars. I don't even care if these cars are rented. Like, people talk about, oh, that car's rented. You know how much it is to rent a Lambo? Two bands right there. You know, I don't know all the prices and all the ranges. You might have a better deal, but that is still not money that most people are willing to throw away. So having a nice car is very important. It took me a lot of thinking to buy my first nice car. And look, I have a couple cars, but, you know, when I bought my Audi for 150, you know, that was a nice car. That was a big purchase for me. And I'm like, why do I need this? But the perception I get, the attention I get just from driving that car, just from people seeing it, that was something I noticed. When I saw how people treated me, when I pulled up in a car. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is women. Women will treat you different when you have a nice car. I cannot tell you about this enough. Women like fast cars. Women like thrill. Women like danger. Women like aggression. Women like the adrenaline rush. So when you got a nice car that moves, that feels good. When you have a car that brings status, that feels good. Women want power. I would say sometimes even more than men. Women just don't show it. You know, they're very much more calculated about it. But a woman's job and a woman's power to manipulate a man, I wouldn't even say manipulate, but more so persuade a man, is extremely, extremely important. Women want a man that's powerful because a powerful man can make a woman powerful. If a woman marries the right guy, her lifestyle is taken care of. Her comfort is there. And when she pulls up in a brand new G-Wagon, a brand new Bentayga that her husband got her, that she got with the lifestyle that she has from the man that she attracted, that's a very big power statement. The happiest women I know in life, they're not necessarily the richest women in the world, but they have a man that takes care of them. And they typically marry men that are in power. And I'm not trying to be superficial here, but I've never seen a woman, you know, complain about being in a nice car. They always say this, you know, it's better to cry in a Benz than a Honda. Look, not that Hondas are bad. Look, I got an Acura. I think Honda owns Acura. But the point is, some cars just have that feel. They have that luxury. They have that acoustic environment that's just so calm, that's so nice when you're driving around. The status that you get from these cars is insane. And the recognition that you get, not only from other men, but from women, is absolutely out of the water. And that can be the difference in you closing a business deal. That can be the difference in you getting a girl to really engage with you in a relationship. That can be the difference in you from getting the respect of your peers when you're going to do something that's very, very important. If you ever heard the statement of sell me this pen, the quality of the pen matters. If you're signing business deals on a terrible pen, it's probably not going to be so good for you. But if you got a nice, heavy pen that shows your status and everything that you do, it's going to reflect a lot better on you. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And if you drive a nice car on a day-to-day basis, people are going to respect you. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you about is the emotion that you have within yourself. Driving my Acura is fun. I love my Acura. I have no problems with it. But driving my Audi, driving the Benz, driving the Porsche is different. It feels different. You know, I had a Porsche Cayenne Turbo, I had an S63 Benz, I had an Audi S8. I love these cars. They're fun cars, right? I don't have anything crazy exotic. I got one that's coming in right now. But my point is, when I drive these cars, I feel successful. I think successfully. I find myself thinking bigger when I'm driving these cars. I feel the presence on the road. People let me through the lanes a lot quicker when they see my big body car come through. Like, oh, this man's got a brand new whip, Brembo brakes, all this stuff. They kind of let me go through. The road presence is crazy. and people will try to come up and try to race you, you feel better. You feel more empowered. People pulled me over when I got my S8. Cops pulled me over like, what kind of car is this, dude? The seats in here are crazy. It's got massage seats, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, this is an S8. They're like, oh, like the Transporter, like the movie with Jason Statham? I was like, yeah, that car. That's crazy. Have a good day. You'd be surprised, man. People will judge you differently, and you will begin to judge yourself differently. If you're driving a brand new Rolls-Royce Cullinan every single day, I promise you, you will start to think differently. But if you're driving a car that's starting and stalling and all that stuff, and you're going to be a little embarrassed, you're going to be a little bit more closed, your body language is going to change. You are going to change. That's why successful people drive expensive cars. Not just because people give them recognition, but it's for them to feel good. It's for them to enjoy the fruits of their labor. When I drive my Audi, I'm like, man, I worked hard for this. I worked hard for these massaging seats. I worked hard for these sunshades, for these cigar holders and cigar lighters, and for all this entertainment within this car. I don't even know. It's got a bunch of features. The solar-powered roof. I got a bunch of different things in there. I worked hard for it. And I'm grateful to myself. And I'm grateful for all the people that work for me. I'm so empowered by driving that vehicle. I feel better about myself. I feel like I owe it to myself to work harder and do more. The thoughts that I think in that car are much better and much higher quality than the thoughts I think in my Acura. When I'm in my Acura, I'm typically taking my dog around, I'm running errands, I'm doing random stuff. But when I'm in my Audi, I'm on business mode. And I artificially restrict myself for when I can drive that car. I don't even drive that car that much because I only drive it when I got work to do. And when I'm in that work mode, I'm focused. That's my mobile office. So having a nice car, people might think it's a waste of money, but the amount of connections that you can make, I go to car meets, I go to different things like that just because of the cars I have. You can meet people that can help you grow your business. You can meet people that can help you build yourself up, especially if you're in a business like real estate or insurance or solar sales or any type of sales in itself. When you're trying to build a hierarchy and recruit and build a lifestyle around yourself and increase your clientele, you need to drive a nice car. You need to pull up to them and be like, yo, I'm good at what I do. You can check by the car. Someone pulls up to me in a Lambo and they got a business, I'm like, yo, you must be good at your business because you're making money. You must be legit. I don't hate on it. Sometimes people will hate on cars. I would never spend that money if I got a nice car. Let me tell you something. You couldn't if you wanted to. You couldn't. People that say I would never spend that money just don't have the money to spend. And I'll tell you this right now. The average American makes about $50,000 to $60,000 a year. The type of car they drive is about $30,000 to $40,000 of their income. That's about half their income. They finance that car for about 5 years on average. That's 50 to 60% of their income right there. The millionaires, they buy Ferraris, they buy cars for $250,000, $200,000, and they're making over $1 million, which is 20%, 10% of their income, and they still maintain a simple lifestyle. For them, on a financial level, on a percentage level, it makes a lot more sense. So look, before you go judge the guy that drives a Ferrari, understand what he makes. He's spending a lot less of his income on that car than you are on your car, and that's why he can afford to do it. That's why it's not a big deal for him, because his cost of living is still probably around the same as yours. It's probably not that crazy. Because even though I have these cars, my cost of living may be a little high with the rent I pay and whatnot, but I still eat food, I still meal prep. I honestly probably spend less on food than most people. So while I might spend more on one area, I cut back on other areas, and when you're successful and you have things going for you, you get things for free. You get discounts. You get, accommodations for things that you do, from rewards points to from your spending, because businesses want to do business with you. So look, get a nice car. If you got the money and it's not going to put you in a very bad situation, get a nice car. It will elevate you. Advertise it. Show it off. I'm encouraging you to do it. It's going to make your life better. If you guys found this video helpful, definitely share it with somebody. If this is going to promote you to buy a car, definitely post a car and tag me in it, because that would be awesome. If you ever want to connect with me, there's a link in the bio down below. You can join our Telegram for private messages from me. Hit that bell notification to stay up to date with all of our videos, and subscribe to our podcast on all major platforms. Guys, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. Until next time, Sumi out.